We welcome you to Carey Stadium here in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania. It's time for more action from GAPC Week on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Today we're happy to bring you some girls soccer. It's the Germantown Academy Patriots taking on the Penn Charter Quakers. Thanks for joining us on the YouTube stream. Ethan Carpenter alongside Elizabeth Van Blarkum. Elizabeth, a former soccer player here for the Patriots, a captain for 4 years. Elizabeth, how's it feel to not be playing in this rivalry, but now you're up in the booth watching it?
Yeah, it's definitely a weird feeling. Definitely weird seeing girls that I've played against before still in the field and not being there, but it's definitely cool still being able to see all my teammates out there. Definitely a little sad, but go GA, BPC.
This is one of the longest prep school rivalries in the country, actually the longest prep school rivalry in the country. GAPC week, as they call it. GA off to a 2-0 lead this week, winning in boys soccer yesterday 3-0. And girls varsity tennis got the win yesterday as well. Remember to stay with us on the Play-by-Play Sports Network this week. We'll have more action here from Fort Washington. Early substitution for Penn Charter. And a throw-in for GA. Starting action on the far sideline. Little wrestling over there, getting it back to center. On the defense there, Charlotte Grimm, the freshman, helping out. As the ball centers back to the middle of the field, and Penn Charter now an early opportunity on the attack. Lauren Anderson passes it over. Anderson, one of the leaders on this Quaker team. Throw in for GA, that's Taylor Weiss. Elizabeth, you were telling me about Taylor earlier. She's a sophomore, and she's contributing a lot on this Germantown team.
Yeah, she was on varsity as a freshman last year, and she's definitely one of our toughest and most aggressive players. She brings it all to the field. She's a great defender. She can play up top. She can basically play anywhere. She carries grit throughout the field, so all around, she's just a great soccer player.
As Penn Charter able to get back on the offensive side of the field, here's Anderson up the near sideline, trying to connect with Kayla Bradby, the junior. And another throw in for Germantown. As a nice through ball up ahead. No one from Germantown able to get to it. And that was polite for Penn Charter, booting it out. There's the setup there from Stewart on the far sideline, trying to center it. Good defense there by Germantown to stymie that pass. And Penn Charter will keep it. Ball can't get through to Anderson. Good job shielding off the body there by Kayla Ron. It's the junior for the Quakers. So Elizabeth, Penn Charter doing a good job here early, keeping the ball on the offensive side of the field, really keeping the pressure up.
Yeah, definitely. I think overall the GA's defense is still holding their ground. Devin, Kaylin Hassan, and Taylor all worked really well together, especially last year when I was on the team. So I don't have any doubt that they can hold the back.
Anderson, the throw in there. Now Bradby has it. And good defense there. That's Weiss booting that out past midfield. Now moving the other way. Shielding away the offensive player there was Kubak for Penn Charter. And a throw in for Germantown. Rain coming down a little bit lighter here. Heavier rain earlier. Forecasted for rain the whole day, but as long as we don't see any lightning, should be game on here from Fort Washington. As now on the breakaway, Janae Stewart. Elizabeth, you were talking about earlier, her speed on display there, but couldn't corral it. Good defense there by Heidi Cross for Germantown.
Yeah, she's a great player. Had the chance to play against her for 2 years in a row, so she's definitely got the speed, and she's a tough component.
And now going the other way on the breakaway for Germantown. This is Goodridge, has a chance. She'll try to slip it past. Good save there by Penn Charter. And they'll clear it out. But an early opportunity there for the Patriots to try and score. It's Gabrielle Polite in goal, the junior for the Quakers. Now moving on over to the far sideline. Defense there by Hermance. Now here's Stewart trying to center it. Good defense there by Germantown. Ball trickles out near sideline. Elizabeth, seems like both teams are moving pretty well considering that the conditions of the field are probably not optimal.
Yeah, the rain definitely makes the ball skid a lot more than usual. Definitely a very fast-paced game with the rain, but you just got to go with it.
I imagine you played a ton of games in your career in the rain. What are some tips to these girls when they're running out here and the weather conditions are not exactly optimal?
Short passes, finding feet to each other. That's it.
That's Hawley ahead of the pack. She tries to score, and she does. Slips it in the right corner of the goal. And it's 1-0 Penn Charter here in the early going. Valiant attempt there by Summer Moses, the junior keeper for Germantown. And no one was there to stop the Quakers on the attack. Charlotte Grimm, one of the freshmen on this Germantown team, will get play started again. And trying to connect there with Goodridge, who had the opportunity earlier. Anderson tries to find the angle along the sideline, but not enough room. A throw in for the Patriots. Gamberg was in there on the scuffle for GA. And now moving along the far side, that's Lugosi as she shoots one high and in. Paige Lugosi answers. And just like that, we're tied at 1. Elizabeth, what a shot there.
That was great. That was one of the best plays I've ever seen Paige do before. So that's awesome. As a senior to get the first goal on GAPC Day, that's one of the best feelings you could ever have.
On the upper left quadrant of the goal, and just past the outstretched arms of Polite. So even in the rain, we might be seeing an offensive explosion here early on today, just a few minutes into this one. Stewart on the far sideline. Good defense there. Heidi Cross getting in there. And she's still working, trying to take the ball away, but it's kicked out of bounds. A lot of intensity here early on. And the one goal for each side definitely helps. As there's the pass ahead for the Quakers. There to corral it is Bradby. And looking for options on the near sideline. Good job by Weiss there on defense. Now Bradby at the controls again. Tries to dip it into Hawley, who had the goal earlier for the Quakers. Good defense there by the Patriots. Elizabeth, you're really doing a good job of clearing these balls away and taking away some of these early offensive chances for the Quakers.
Definitely. I think the Quakers' offense is very strong. They have a lot of key fast players, so as long as we can hold the defense pretty well, I think GA should be all right.
Stewart gets that one back inside and far left to the goal on the shot there, Kayla Ron. And it's going to be a corner for the Quakers. So more pressure being put on the junior keeper, Summer Moses. We'll see if the Quakers can create another opportunity here in the first half. This is Bradby on the cross. A low dribbler is delivered in for a goal.
That was really nice.
Madeline Shoup, it looks like, got in there for the Quakers. And just like that, they take the lead back 2-1. Elizabeth, sometimes it's those low crosses or those low corners that are the most dangerous. Sometimes you can lose that ball, and you saw that happen there to Germantown.
Yeah, definitely. If you're not tight on your marker, especially in the rain, it's very easy for the ball to slip through. So you got to keep your defense as tight as it can be.
Shoup trying to get it back to Bradbury, and here comes Germantown the other way. Grimm trying to control it ahead of the pack. Bats that one back to Lugosi, who had a goal earlier, and she slips and falls to the turf. No call. And back and forth we go now on the Germantown third of the field. And here's Alexis Goodridge. She had a chance earlier trying to create one here. But a 2-on-1 there. Good defense by the Quakers to take that ball away. All of a sudden, the Quakers flipping field. There's Janae Stewart trying to run down that ball. And kicked out of bounds by Devin Smith, the senior captain. Good instincts there and a throw-in for Penn Charter. Elizabeth, you mentioned you were a captain here. Talk about the responsibilities that it takes to be a captain, especially here at Germantown.
I mean, it's just fun. I think a captain really on our team is just a label. Everyone is a captain, whether you're a senior, junior, sophomore, freshman. So I guess all we have to do is just tell everyone when practice starts and ends, but we all work together as a team either way. So
Anderson tried to center that one. Good defense by Weiss. She's been active here in the early going. And a corner now for Penn Charter, courtesy of Bradby. Bradby's kick, this one high, trying to find a head in the middle, and cleared out just by the entrance of the goal. The Quakers will keep it. Bradby trying to weave her way. And now another corner opportunity. So the Quakers really playing on their side of the field, mostly here in the early going, putting a lot of pressure on the goal as the corner is delivered, and it is corralled by Summer Moses. So unlike the other two corners, that one didn't have much of a chance as a booming kick there by Moses. It was about 25 to 30 yards out. And now here come the Quakers again, operating on the far side of the field. Centered inside, didn't reach a foot. And just before it goes out, Bradby gets to it. Anderson boots one out. Stewart had a chance there.
you can really see how easily the ball skims on the turf, especially when it's wet.
That's probably a reason why we've already seen 3 goals, not even 15 minutes into this game. Should expect more here today, as action on the far sideline results in a throw-in for the Quakers. And Germantown will get it back on the free kick. And on the throw-in, my apologies. Key moment here for the Patriots, trying to reverse field. They've been on the defensive here. And the speed for the Quakers on full display. Quakers trying to reverse field. Trying to get a hold on it is Chloe Schweitzer for Germantown. And not able to corral it. Quakers get it back. Lauren Anderson on the throw-in. That ball slips out. Right there for Germantown. So that would have been a nice opportunity. This rain not cooperating with the grip of this ball right now, especially for the goalies, Elizabeth. I mean, it's got to be hard, even with gloves, trying to corral saves here today.
Definitely. You can see also if it goes right above your fingertips, it's definitely a lot more likely to slide right off instead of being able to tip it over. So definitely not the ideal conditions you want to be playing in as a goalie.
But obviously they're playing on turf and not grass, so if you're playing on grass, it's a whole different ball game. And definitely help with traction. Nice defense there by the Patriots to get that one out of bounds. Weiss, the sophomore, making another play on the defensive end. Anderson working it outside. And a low shot, not able to get through. Ron dumps it off. For 11, that's Shoup.
Penn Charter definitely does a good job with their outside midfielders. I've had the chance to play against both of them, and they're both very fast, very technical. They definitely know how to work the outside of the field really well.
But the weather's got to be playing to their disadvantage, right? If you're relying on your speed, you're not getting that much traction. So
Definitely.
Might need to resort to a different playing style here today. And PA The rivalry week is on the far sideline, keeping it in bounds are the Quakers, moving the other way, trying to get an opportunity. Stewart reversing it to midfield, and she strikes one over, way over the goal. And a goal kick coming up for Germantown. Again, want to thank you for joining us on the Play-by-Play Sports Network today on our YouTube stream. Happy to have you. GAPC week action. Hopefully you got to tune in yesterday. GA boys soccer got the win. 3-0. Ball batted around at midfield. Stewart emerges with it. Stewart trying to get past her defender. Trips, gets up. And Ron couldn't corral it. Good clear there by Germantown. So Ron and Stewart both had some opportunities there to maybe get a shot off. As playing defense there, that's Nikowski pushing down her defender. And Moses gets a handle on it for the Quakers to get it up and away. Stewart able to control and give it off to Hawley. Now looking on the near sideline for Anderson. Wasn't able to connect on the header. Good thought there on the pass, though, by Shoup. Anderson shields off her defender. Weiss clears. What a shot on that ball. And when that ball hit the ground, it kind of died. It didn't keep going. Is easy corral there by Polite. So Elizabeth, Germantown has sort of flipped the field now. We're seeing more action on their side of the field after early they were in defensive mode. And just as we say that, Bradby tries to get ahead of the pack. But no luck there. It's going to be Chloe Schweitzer, the sophomore midfielder. Now she'll give it off to Weiss on the throw-in. And moving to the far side of the field, Herman's trying to chase down the Quakers. That was Lewinsky for Penn Charter, both in a battle on the far sideline. And not sure, looked like maybe a substitution for a second. We'll see what's going on there. Elizabeth, I didn't seem to catch. Did you happen to catch what just happened?
No, I think maybe Penn Charter had one too many on the field, I guess. Just a mix-up in their substitution.
Good old math, right? Sometimes it can get the best of us. I definitely didn't notice it, but nonetheless, Bradby goes to the bench for the Quakers. Here's Stewart moving ahead. She drops one off. Mayone was among the Quakers there, trying to get control of the ball. Anderson really working there on the near sideline. The foul there will give it back to the Patriots. Little over halfway through the first half of action. And Sage Batista really getting into a couple unconventional situations here on the near sideline. Quakers will keep it. She's been very active on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball here this afternoon, as that's my own trying to get the angle. And they call offsides. So maybe a slimmer of hope there for my own and the Quakers. That was a rough angle to get. And the goal kick coming from Moses. Moses, a low rocket kick. Deflects back, Germantown. Working on it. That was Alexis Goodridge in there for a moment. She comes back as part of reinforcements. Let the Quakers regain. Here's Hahn with a spin. Moving it ahead for the Quakers, trying to find Stewart there inside the 18. Even though the Quakers weren't able to convert on that scoring attempt, they still keep possession. Here's an opportunity here for the Quakers. Good save there inside. Moses diving to the turf and keeps this a 2-1 game. Batista was working on Anderson there. There's Hahn delivering a lefty rocket towards the goal, and Moses gets the save. Other than the 2 goals, Elizabeth, Moses has been doing a good job. You said that you hadn't played with her before, right? So this is your first time seeing her. What are your thoughts on her performance thus far?
I mean, I've heard all good things. She's a talented goalie. Unfortunately, we did have a senior goalie last year that was also very good, so I never really had the chance to play with her as her teammate, but just seeing her out here on the field and in previous games thus far this year, she's a great goalie.
Well, she's getting great experience because even though it's a shortened season, obviously still getting to play in this rivalry game. Do you think this rivalry game takes on any lesser of an importance because of this season, or do you think the same intensity is going to come out here today?
Oh, definitely the same intensity, if not a lot more. I mean, this game is everything, especially to seniors. You look forward to this. It doesn't matter what other teams are in the interact at the time.
And Moses able to get the save there. Dangerous situation. That was my own. Nora Mayon, the freshman for the Quakers, had a scoring chance there. Looked like a near handball by Schweitzer, but she clears. And Goodridge active there. Nonetheless, Quakers get the ball back, trying to move it ahead to Stewart. And that ball skips out down the near sideline. And it's going to be a corner kick for Penn Charter. So by my count, it's the 4th corner for Penn Charter, maybe the 5th. And obviously, one of them bringing their first goal of the game, courtesy of Hawley. It's a low corner there. This corner is going to be delivered by Haley Lewinsky. It's a high kick. And Moses got a hands on it. And we will have another corner from the other direction. So I think Moses wanted to grab that, Elizabeth, just got away from her.
Yeah, definitely. You can see how the rain comes into play here because, like I said earlier, it's hard as a goalie, especially when you get those high balls. It slips right off the tips of your fingers.
And plus, Moses doesn't know what's going on behind her. Is this kick a nice save there by Moses? She got her left hand up to deflect that ball away from the goal. It's going to be the 3rd straight corner by Penn Charter. But boy, that could have been dangerous right there on that one. Rain lightening up just a tad bit here at Carey Stadium. Approaching 13 minutes left here in the first half. That one slides wide right of the goal, and a goal kick now for Germantown. So Germantown avoids a potentially dangerous situation. You never want to see corner kicks lining up 3 in a row like that, but a good job by Moses to keep this a 1-goal game. Moses' kick into a crowd of Germantown players. Hermance was chasing it far sideline to throw in for Germantown. Just misses Hermance. Now the Quakers trying to get back on the offensive. Stewart is there with a through ball. Wide left, trying to reach Siphon. Siphon keeps it in. Stewart now has a chance, and Stewart delivers. A rocket shot from Stewart. And the lead expands for the Quakers. It's now 3-1 here late in the first half.
You can definitely see how Penn Charter does a really good job coming in with their numbers. I mean, they've basically forced their whole team up when they have offensive possession, so that's something they've always been pretty strong at.
Stewart showing why she's a captain for the Quakers. She has been all over the ball on the offensive side here today, and delivers the 3rd goal of the afternoon on a rain-soaked turf here for the Quakers. Got a couple substitutions for the Quakers. Looks like Madeline Shoup heading back onto the field, as well as number 33, Jamie Kubak. Stewart controls at midfield. A dribbling ball to the far side. And nothing doing there for the Quakers, and we will have yet another corner.
Can definitely see Penn Charter taking advantage of these through balls. Like I said earlier, their outside midfielders are pretty fast, so even with the rain, if you're not one-on-one with them and have them tight and close to you, it's very easily for them to get right by you.
One can break free, definitely, and we've seen that on a few occasions here today, especially the 2nd goal as Moses bats that one away and sends it back out for another corner. So we're seeing on a lot of Summer Moses saves today, Elizabeth, that she's able to hit them in a direction where there isn't a second opportunity for the Quakers. They're not getting 3-4 shots on a couple saves that are batted in front of the goal. As Stewart tries to slip in, and Moses makes a phenomenal save there in front of the goal. Lost the ball there for a second, weren't able to see it, but Moses comes away with the save. Devin Smith, the captain, sent that one away. And now Smith will throw in for the Patriots. Weiss trying to control, she does. It's a high ball there. Stewart skies one to the far sideline. Siphon controls ahead. That's Bradby. Fighting on the far sideline near the corner. Bradby. And they're going to say she stepped out. Stewart working for the ball. She comes away with it. Ron trying to find the ball, dumps it off. Kubak and Hahn working here on the near side. Germantown gets possession back. Trying to possibly work two-player game. And Weiss will execute the free kick. A low driving kick by Weiss. Here we are far side. Good defense by Devin Smith to get that ball out of there. And try and move it into the offensive side of the field. No call there on the trip near about the 45-yard line. Schweitzer comes away with it. Schweitzer trying to get that ball through, but not able to connect. Stewart trying to find the angle on the near sideline. She does. And a throw in now for the Quakers. As with just under 7 minutes left, Quakers try to add another goal here in the first half. And Germantown gets it back. Not enough room there for Madeline Shoup. Hallhe comes away with it. Bradby going left, shooting left. And that one was a little high and to the left. But again, putting more pressure on Summer Moses is this Quakers offense.
You can definitely feel how intense this game is, especially when you're up 3-1. Teams tend to usually fall back a bit with their intensity, but Penn Charter is definitely keeping it high.
Yeah, how crucial is this last 5 minutes of the first half? Because you get one goal here if you're Germantown, it's a whole new ball game heading into the second half.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, time is precious at any point in the game, so you got to be 100% the entire time.
Kubak throws it in. Ron tries to deliver. And good effort there by Weiss to try and corral that ball before it rolls out of bounds. And Bradby on the corner for the Quakers. The ball was high, and good job there by Goodridge to get that soccer ball out of the 18. But now the Quakers trying to bring it back, and Moses corrals it. Fighting on the near sideline, Schweitzer able to bring that back to midfield. And here's Stewart again, off to her left. The far side of the field, trying to get the angle. And good defense there by the Patriots to cut the Quakers off. Now we're starting to see possession changes more often here late in the first half. Both teams getting really aggressive, sensing halftime. And Elizabeth, this is a big chance here for the Patriots, huh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always definitely in your odds when you're on your offensive side. So as long as I think the Patriots can keep controlled and passing to feet, they shouldn't have an issue.
Ball skips out far side. Patriots keep it. Devin Smith in on the throw-in. Looking for someone. She finds Grimm, and Grimm skies one high, and a nice save there by Polite, reaching high. And she'll boot it away for Penn Charter. Polite, a high kick. They're about midfield. headed backwards, and now Germantown has it. Kate Cooper, the junior, getting in on the action, the junior midfielder for the Patriots. And we have a whistle. And play resumes. Kubak throws it in. Good ridge, good defense there. And Lugosi had that one get through. So back and forth we go now in the middle of the field as both teams trying to find something compared to the amount of goals we had in the first, few minutes of this game. It's really slowed down, Elizabeth, over these, last 10+ minutes.
Yeah, definitely. I think also once you get that goal, your adrenaline definitely kicks in, and once things start to slow down, it's really hard to get back into that. So.
Yeah, did you find sometimes in this rivalry that you were so amped up for the game that maybe the game was going too fast for you and you guys needed to reel it in over time?
Definitely. I think also sometimes it's too slow. Sometimes you have all of that energy during your warm-ups and everything's great, but once you get onto the field, obviously the weather conditions are playing into it a little bit, but if you don't go into the game the same way you go into the warm-up and how you've been practicing every day, you're not going to have a high chance.
Players were here way in advance of game time today, warming up. It's not easy to be warming up in a downpour, but everyone gets up for GAPC week. As Lugosi trying to shield off her defender on the far sideline. That one's centered back inside the 18, but no chance there for the Patriots. And a goal kick upcoming for the Quakers. Under a minute to go here in the first half. Ethan Carpenter alongside Elizabeth Van Blarkum for some Germantown Penn Charter soccer. Also field hockey. Got started at 3 o'clock. Also on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. You can find that link on our YouTube page as well. As the Quakers, one last shot before the halftime comes, and running down the sideline, Shoup couldn't get to it. Germantown there to cut her off. And Goodridge back to center. And now Lugosi trying to get ahead of the Quaker defense. Lugosi working, and she's going to run out of time. That will do it for the first half. How about the start here? Within the first 10 minutes, things got going fast. Things slowed down, though, as we got to the back half of the first half. Our score is Penn Charter 3, Germantown 1. We'll be back in a few with the second half on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. one half down here from Fort Washington, PA, Germantown Academy. Ethan Carpenter alongside Elizabeth Van Blarcom on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Elizabeth, a former player for Germantown Academy, graduated class of 2020. Elizabeth, you know a lot of players on this Patriot team, down 3-1 at the half. What are your keys? What are you telling them at halftime in order to help them get back in this game?
Just definitely keep up the intensity. Stay on your markers. I mean, Penn Charter's going to come out just as hard as they did in the first half. They're not a team to let anything up, so you just got to play smart.
And for the viewers at home, by stay on your markers, explain to the viewers what that means.
I mean, basically you don't want your player to have even just one step in front of you. You have to be even touching them at all times. So I think if GA can maintain that and basically track down their opponents, they'll be okay.
So sort of own your area.
Yeah, definitely.
As early on a throw in now for Penn Charter. That's Molly throwing it in. And working on the near sideline, here's Ron. Gets it to center, and now working right to the far sideline. Quakers trying to go on the attack here in the early going. And Moses makes the save for the Patriots. Now the wind is starting to pick up. I don't know if you guys can hear it at home, but the wind's starting to pick up here at Carey Stadium. We'll see if that plays as a factor here in the second half of play. Devin Smith on the throw in there. Ron able to get it away. And now Penn Charter moving. Bradby trying to get the angle. Bradby a little stop and go. Gets it center. And trying to get a shot off there is Hawley. But to the left of the goal, and a goal kick now coming for Germantown. And that was a nice opportunity there for the Quakers here early in the second half. That was Heidi Cross shielding off her defender to keep it in Germantown possession, but Ron gets it right back for the Quakers. A collision there, that was Hawley. And coming away with it is Grimm, the freshman. Grimm knocks it ahead of the pack, a little too strong there, and Polite gets the basket catch for the Quakers. Polite's in midfield. Now here is Stewart. Stewart trying to change direction and work horizontally, get it to the far side of the field. It's the header there by Anderson. And that ball stayed in. Looked like that might have gone out. No call from the ref. And we will play on. Shoup tried to get that to Ron. But here comes Devin Smith, the captain. Smith off to center. And too strong there. That was Hermans, the senior. At least trying to get a shot on goal there. But with the wind and all the other factors, that shot was off the mark.
Yeah, it's definitely key, I think, for GA to shoot low. I mean, Quakers goalie is pretty tall, and with the wind and the ground, the ball can slip pretty easily in. So I think that's their best bet right now.
Well, the Quakers have gotten some goals on low passes as well. I mean, we saw the corner in the first half. I mean, that ball barely got off the ground, and they were able to sneak it in. So definitely Elizabeth going to need to look for that, especially with the wind. You kick that ball too high, you know, no one knows where it's going to end up. Is now Germantown trying to move into their offensive half of the field. Goodridge working there. Now it's back to Grimm. Grimm on the outside. This is Hermans. And Hermans couldn't get to it. Ball gets away. And the Quakers will get it back on the goal kick. Head coach Christopher Nelson must have gave a good speech at halftime. GA seems a lot more aggressive here to start the second half as opposed to the first half when the Quakers were really just pushing for the first 5-10 minutes. Smith gets that ball out of there. Ball skips towards the near sideline. And the Quakers keep it. This is Anna Molly on the throw-in. Ron trying to shield a defender. And Heidi Cross, the junior, kicks it back out of bounds. Ron gets that one ahead. Stewart spins away from her defender, tries to loop that one into the goal, but it goes just left. Good body control there by the senior Janae Stewart. And Stewart looks like she may be limping, or maybe she's okay.
May have been a rolled ankle or something.
And if that's happening on turf, I mean, just imagine if this was grass, the difficulties that would be ensuing there. But hopefully Stewart is okay. She looks like she's starting to walk a little bit better after a few seconds as goal kick comes out. Header there by Smith. Stewart corrals it. Trying to reverse field there. Good job by the Patriots to stop that plan. And that ball gets through. For a moment, an opportunity. Lily Funk had it in possession for a second. Charlotte Grimm, the freshman, is really playing good defense here in the early going, trying to help this ball get back in Germantown possession. Funk drops it off, and the shot there just gets past. That was Grimm. And Polite didn't have the angle, but it didn't matter. That shot went just wide left. But what an opportunity there, Elizabeth.
Yeah, definitely. You can see how definitely these low shots are going to help out the Patriots if they keep shooting towards that way.
Even though it was a low shot, it did go off the ground a little bit. It looked like the wind took it to the left a little bit. Maybe without wind, on any other day, that ball goes in the goal.
Yeah.
Header there by Molly. Goes out. Devin Smith on the throw-in. Smith. Grimm. Grimm trying to get ahead of the defense. Shielding off a defender and can't get to it on the sideline. That was a tough call. I think Grimm thought that Germantown was going to keep that one. She went to go grab the ball, but Penn Charter regains possession. Hermance working on the near sideline. Stewart now with it for the Quakers. Stewart. Anderson. At midfield. Running over on defense is Goodridge for the Patriots. His defense, a good hustle there on defense on the far sideline. Anderson trying to get the angle, and she went out of bounds. Germantown regains on the throw-in. Stewart tries to kick that one through. A collision there between Hermance and Lewinsky near about the 25-yard line marker. Obviously, this field used for football as well. This field will be the site for Saturday's game between Penn Charter and Germantown Academy, only on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Myself and Simon Rosenwasser on the call there for you. Free kick for Germantown. This is Taylor Weiss. Taking it from about midfield. And the Patriots have a golden opportunity here. Weiss ahead. trying to find a defender. Don't know if someone got a hand on it for Penn Charter. See no call from the ref. And we will get a corner from GA. Delivering the corner is Heidi Cross, the junior midfielder. Cross. Couldn't find the leg of any Patriot players. And a throw in now from Grimm. Good hustle there by the Quakers. Trying to get back on their offensive side of the field. Ron has something to say about that. Here she goes. A through ball. Stewart trying to beat her defender. Stewart falls. Moses got in there on the save. And now Janae Stewart will have an opportunity here on the penalty kick. And that's that hustle you were talking about earlier, Elizabeth. Janae Stewart, all hustle there to give the Quakers an opportunity here to get another goal here early in the second half.
Yeah, she definitely does not let down any chance she gets. It's definitely interesting seeing what the ref's angle is of the play versus ours, because to me that looked like it was a fair play. I mean, Summer came out of the goal doing what she does, so I think that was just a small collision, but I guess the ref sees a different angle than we do, so just got to play on.
It's always tough to get those calls in the moment, but here is Janae Stewart. Golden opportunity here for the Quakers. Stewart's shot is deflected. Now the header over, and Moses was there, but the ball skips past goal and out. So the Patriots avoid disaster there, and they keep it to a 2-goal game. We're about 10 minutes into the first half. Clock here does read a little over 30 minutes, but the clock did start late. And we'll keep an eye on that for you. As Moses on the goal kick is right to Stewart. Stewart skips one ahead, and Moses corrals it on the basket catch. A high kick there from Moses going towards midfield. Shoup was there. Shoup had a goal, Madeline Shoup earlier. The junior for the Quakers. Stewart trying to get that one through. She cannot. Caitlin Hassan was there. Talked a lot about her before the game. Elizabeth Hassan, a junior captain. Really good on defense.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to play on defense with Caitlin. She's a great player. It's such a cool job to be a captain as a junior. I think that's really cool, and I think it's well deserved for her. She was on the starting lineup last year for a long time, and she definitely kept our defense together.
And the Patriot defense has been playing a lot better in the second part of the first half, and now in the second half, they tightened up a little bit. And even though the Quakers have been on the attack, as they are now Stewart didn't really get a clean shot on that one. That ball obviously wide right. Stewart has had maybe like 2 or 3 opportunities here in the second half, but not able to convert on any of them. So sort of a bend but don't break defensive approach here in the second half for the Patriots. Still only down by 2 goals. Moses a low kick. The header, and had some calls here for a handball from the crowd. Janae Stewart put her hand up as well. She thought she saw something. No call from the refs. Heidi Cross on the through ball. No one to get to it. Lugosi was chasing it down. Lugosi You might remember the lone goal today for the Patriots. Nice shot going right to left over the outstretched arms of the goalkeeper for Penn Charter, Gabrielle Polite. Goodridge tried to get that one through. And on the far sideline we go. Here's Lauren Anderson. Quakers reversing field, trying to center. Stewart was there for a second. Cleared out by Germantown. Anderson had a lane. And a foul called there and a free kick coming for Penn Charter. Good hustle there by Lauren Anderson. And Elizabeth, you were telling me before the game you had a lot of respect for Lauren Anderson in her game.
Yeah, she's a really nice player. A couple teammates and we've always thought that she's one of Penn Charter's strongest players, and she's definitely showing up in the game today.
Ends on the free kick here for Penn Charter. That one was rocketed past Summer Moses in goal. Not able to convert there.
You can definitely see that given the circumstances we're in. I mean, the intensity on the field still stands. I mean, it's definitely a lot more fun when you're surrounded by screaming people and everything, but I think both teams are doing a great job of keeping the intensity high and keeping the energy where it needs to be.
Also, Elizabeth, we were talking earlier, usually Germantown and Penn Charter play twice a year. This year it's only one time. They're making the schedule shorter because of the COVID pandemic. So you think of all that intensity that's usually spread out over 2 games. It's all in one this year. I mean, this is the one matchup as far as we're concerned.
Yeah, I think that definitely adds more pressure to it too.
Bradby trying to get one from Stewart. There's a nice delivery there. Moses was there, and that shot goes wide left. And now the wind's really picking up here at Carey Stadium in Fort Washington, PA. 100% chance of rain all day. Hopefully this weather clears up later in the week as Bradby emerges with the ball for Penn Charter. The weather has not stopped the offense here today. Is trying to reverse field Alexis Goodridge. Goodridge wrestling with a defender on the far sideline. Looks like Lauren Anderson over there playing good defense. Back and forth we go. Anderson with the header. A lot of activity on the far sideline here to start the second half of play. Stewart. Nikowski on defense, chasing down Goodridge. And Caitlin Nikowski. Good job on the defensive end there for the Quakers. Ball goes out off Germantown. Stewart will give the throw in to Kubat. And a substitution here coming in is Ron. Leaving the game is number 11, Madeline Shoup. Both players have been very active on the offensive side of the field here today. Ron falls down. Weiss was in there on maybe a push. No call from the ref. Goodridge chasing it out of bounds. And another throw in for Penn Charter. So now moving into Germantown's side of the field. This is a moment where they need to get a goal on the board, down by 2. Just under 23 minutes left here in this girls soccer matchup, right in the middle of GAPC week. Nikowski clears that one out, stalling another opportunity for the Patriots. Lugosi tries to find room, falls down, no call. And an errant shot goes wide right. Good activity there by the senior forward, Lugosi, trying to get her second goal of the afternoon.
It's definitely key here for the Patriots to keep the ball in our offensive end. I mean, towards the beginning of this half, we saw a lot on the Quakers' offense, and I think it's kind of shifted just a little bit.
Well, Elizabeth, I'd say you're right, definitely. A lot of plays been in the middle of the field now. Here in the second half, no team really getting a ton of opportunities. We saw Stewart on the free kick earlier, had an opportunity to get a goal, but other than that, fairly quiet here in the second half. Still a 3-2-1 score. This is Ron. Ron over to Stewart. Stewart drops it off. And Bradby now going left. And the defense from Lugosi cut her off. Smith on the throw-in. Grimm tries to find room on the sideline. And Germantown keeps it. Nikowski still working on the defensive end. Nikowski, one of the captains for Penn Charter. Batisto falls to the turf. Play continues. A chance here for Penn Charter. And good defense there by the Patriots. Devin Smith cutting the offensive player off.
Devin's always been a really good defensive player. She definitely has the speed in the back. You can pretty much place her anywhere on the field, but she's really good for, even if one player falls behind, she's always there as a second person to make sure no one gets away.
Also, Elizabeth, you saw there just the way Smith was able to make contact with the ball without making contact with the defender. That's got to be a difficult thing to do, as now on the attack, Linus has it for Penn Charter, trying to get something going. Penn Charter regains off the back of Lauren Anderson. Devin Smith on the throw-in, so here we are back moving towards Germantown's offensive side of the field. That ball shot ahead. Goodrich has it. Goodrich going to her right, trying to find something. Lugosi looking for her second, goes through the legs of a Penn Charter defender. But Penn Charter will get it back. Lugosi trying to create some offense there, but limited space. And the foul there results in a free kick.
You can definitely see how the intensity picks up much more when the time is slowly running out.
And just under 19 minutes to go. Stewart trying to get that one ahead for Penn Charter. Devin Smith. I'm sorry, that was not Devin Smith. That was Sheed, the freshman, in there. Anderson trying to get the angle on the left side before that one goes out, and it does. Good hustle there by Lauren Anderson. Trying to find room. Weiss was working with it at midfield. And Hawley now ahead. Stewart has it on the left side, back to Anderson. Anderson tries to center it. She does. Hawley working with it. Ron, a lefty shot, and that one loops left. Pressure being put on here by the Quakers. Kick coming from Moses. This one a low driving kick. Hawley gets it, a lefty shot. That was a rocket going far right for Kaylin Hawley. She got the offense going for Penn Charter in the first half. Number 12, the senior. A lot of talent between the upperclassmen on both teams. And Elizabeth, you got to feel for the upperclassmen on both teams, considering a shortened season because of COVID, that they're not getting the full experience of a normal senior season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being a senior on any sports team and just in general is supposed to be super fun. I mean, this is the game especially that everyone looks forward to. So I'm grateful to have had this last year. Along with, we had 8 graduating seniors last year on the soccer team, so it's definitely nice to see a different lineup on the field today.
Definitely a lot of young players really playing well today. You have Grimm, Battisto, all in there, and then obviously the veterans like Lugosi, who got the scoring started earlier, is now an opportunity here for Germantown as that ball slips free. But Nikowski kicks it away. Good awareness there by Polite. And now out of bounds we go. Boy, that was a great opportunity. You always got to watch out whenever the goalie can't hold on to the ball, and that ball's just sitting there in front of the goal.
Yeah, that's one of Coach Kelly on the Patriots, one of her biggest pet peeves is when one of our girls doesn't run towards the goalie at all times when the ball's in our offensive end. So that's definitely something that you have to take advantage of.
Here's the corner from Germantown. Centering it, Anderson impedes that progress. Going the other way, Ron gets it up to Stewart. And Stewart controls just past midfield. Here are the Quakers now on the attack. Stewart, a shot. Dribbles in front of Anderson. Moses starting moving towards that ball just for a second, but wisely pulls back with several Quakers in the area. Don't want to leave that goal open. And the defense for the Patriots holds yet again. Still scoreless here in the second half. Under 15 minutes to go here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Shoop over to the far sideline. That's Danielle Scheipen. My apologies, I had a name pronunciation error earlier. Scheipen, the sophomore, number 2 for Penn Charter.
I got to give it to Summer Moses in goal. I mean, she's been pretty composed this entire time, and this is her first GAPC game as a goalie, so I think she's doing a great job.
After the 2 goals early, she really did, Elizabeth, compose herself, get her footing. And despite all the opportunities for the Quakers on the offensive side of the field, they haven't been able to convert since really early on in this game.
Yeah, definitely. And I think she is doing a really good job working with her defense. I mean, you always have to have that connection between your defense and your goalie, and I think the communication has definitely amped up a bit.
Bradby tries to get that one ahead, loops it forward. Hawley working for it near the goal line. But that one goes over. Germantown will regain possession.
think what's so interesting also about GA versus PC in girls soccer is that Darcy used to coach at GA, and my sister actually had the chance to play with her, so it's definitely interesting to see both sides and the different coaching techniques they both have.
And Coach Borski with Penn Charter. Hired with Penn Charter in 2013, used to coach in Germantown for 6 seasons in the late 2000s. So connections between programs here in the eastern Pennsylvania area. A lot of talented schools around here, not just in soccer, but in a ton of sports. So the Quakers here with an opportunity. Bradby to boot. Kick by Bradby, the lefty kick. Good save there by Moses to get that up. Ball being batted around inside the 18. A shot there by Stewart. Goes wide left. And it made contact with a Patriot defender, so a corner coming up for the Quakers.
You can definitely see how Stewart is really good at tracking the ball. She always seems to get at least a foot on it at any point.
Bradby hits it up. Misses a few defenders. The Quakers not able to establish possession. A free kick now coming for Weiss and the Patriots. Weiss's kick, a high booming kick past midfield in an attempt to try and flip the field for the Patriots. Batista working far sideline. Lauren Anderson undercuts her, and Anderson on the throw-in. Good defense there. Stewart.
Looks like she was offside
Yeah,
there.
it looked like she was offsides. That one was a little close. It was Bradby ahead, or maybe that's not the call. Penn Charter is keeping it. Maybe the referee didn't blow their whistle. Not sure what the call was there, but the Quakers have it. Nikowski, number 5, the senior, kicks it ahead, trying to find a lane. And now Stewart centers that one. Good defense there by the Patriots, trying to get that ball out of there, and good job by Hassan to get that to the near sideline. Now under 10 minutes and counting here in this girls soccer matchup. And working towards the near sideline. Good defense by Hawley. Back and forth we go. Germantown really trying to regain possession. And Hermans chasing that one out near sideline. Hermans has the throw in. Hermans ahead. Lugosi tracks that one over her head. And Germantown keeps it. Free kick coming up for Heidi Cross. Junior midfielder. Right-footed kick is ahead. Batista on the header, and offsides is the call.
This is where the Patriots are going to have to be really smart with only a little bit above 8 minutes left. I mean, time is precious right now, so they definitely have to lock in and know what they're doing.
I'm not even sure Batista knew that pass was coming. I think she was kind of like in a wrong place at the wrong time kind of thing. You saw her look a little confused. She knew that was an offsides call. Here are the Patriots moving. Bradby couldn't hold on to it. This is Funk up ahead. Batista running far sideline, trying to get the angle on Anderson. Anderson and Batista battling near the corner. And Penn Charter will get it back. Polite on the kick. About medium distance. Batista tried to get the header there, and now moving the other way. Pass in there, showing off her good defense that we talked about earlier. And now this through ball trying to find the leg of Stewart. Stewart gets through. Stewart tries to get the shot off, cannot.
Great save by Summer.
Summer Moses got in there. And with Stewart, like we were talking about, Elizabeth, with how fast she is, I mean, that's a difficult save to make there for Summer Moses. It's like a split-second decision, right? Do you want to go out and chase the ball, or do you want to stay back?
Yeah, definitely. She's 100% making all the right decisions today.
And now Ron pushes it forward. Some extracurriculars going on for our sideline. And the foul there, it looks like, gives it back to Germantown. Weiss will have the free kick. Weiss has done a really good job, the sophomore, on defense of trying to reverse the field today. A lot of her free kicks have really skied in the air. That one was a little lower. But Batista will have the throw in near the offensive side of the field for Germantown. Her throw in slips past, and Goodrich chasing it. And just past the 6-minute mark here in the second half of play. Penn Charter looking to get their first win of GAPC week. They trailed 2-0 going into today. Keep up with the field hockey score on the Play by Play Sports Network YouTube channel. We'll also have water polo for you tomorrow. I'll be on the call there from the pool. Caleb Bradby on the throw-in. And the wind and rain picking up here now. Minimal spectators here today, obviously with social distancing. And the Interact Conference, and both schools here are trying to do their best to slow the spread of COVID-19. Germantown Academy doing a great job of implementing procedures to make sure everyone is safe and healthy. Bradby, no one there to get to that pass. She kicks it out. Quakers keep it. And now you see, Elizabeth, that defensive intensity is going to have to get to another level because we're running out of time here with just over 4 minutes left.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a shame that I think only the senior parents are allowed today, which is definitely such a shame for all the seniors, especially when the noise and everyone cheering for you. Like, this is such a special and important day, so I definitely feel for them.
Obviously, as a class of 2020 grad yourself, you've played alongside a lot of these seniors. You made great memories. What would you say is your best memory from your time here playing soccer at Germantown?
Oh boy, I guess definitely as a team, we're not just teammates, we're all really close as friends too. So I think we've all built that strong bond with each other, especially when you're upperclassmen with the seniors that are now. You get to know them a lot better, and you definitely get a lot closer. So, I mean, they're all great people. They definitely all know what they're doing out here, and I know they're all really upset that this is their last GAPC day.
Ron tries to spin away. Stewart tries to rope one towards the goal, but Moses was there, didn't get the save, but that one was wide left. corner coming from Bradby. She's done the honors on most corners here today. That pass goes in and over the net. High arcing deflection there for Penn Charter. And a substitution. Heading out is Hassan, and into the game Grimm. The freshman gets some more playing time here late in this one. Batista on the throw-in. Goodridge chasing it down. Another throw-in from Batista, and that was Lily Funk there. Tried to get ahead on it, and it rolls over to Polite. Easy save there with 2 minutes to go here in this one. So the energy for this game really showed on the offensive side, and then ever since it's been a lot of energy on the defensive side of the ball. As you see Weiss trying to make a play there on defense. Nonetheless, the intensity has been here all day for the longest prep school rivalry in the United States.
You can definitely see how intense it gets with even just the little calls that the refs tend to make, and how that definitely has an effect on the play.
Yeah, interrupting the flow, definitely. As Weiss, a lefty kick there, and high arcer. And Cross has a couple Penn Charter defenders there to take that ball away from her, but Germantown keeps it. Here in the waning moments. As Stewart trying to get ahead there, Moses, a nice save with her foot. Out of bounds on the far sideline.
You can see how the Quakers are just trying to run down the clock right now. Bring the ball into the corner and just keep it there until this clock runs out.
Sensing a win, the school's first win this week in this tradition, GAPC week. As that will wrap things up here from Germantown Academy here in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania. Our final score, Penn Charter 3 and Germantown Academy 1. Thanks for tuning in on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. I'm Ethan Carpenter. Thanks a ton to Elizabeth Van Blarcom for joining us, a former soccer player here at Germantown. Make sure you tune in to the field hockey matchup going on right now on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. And tune in to the rest of the events we will broadcast for you live this week on YouTube.